Hello again, and my name is Hector Sabido, and thank you for joining us for Orgullo Hispano, a podcast provided by the Hispanic Leaders Network. I am excited to introduce our guests for this afternoon, but before I get to them, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, the Office of External Affairs at Baylor University, for being our official sponsor for this specific podcast. Thank you to Baylor and even all of our sponsors in the past that have made this available and readily good to go for us all. But now I'd like to introduce my guests for the day. I'd like to take this time to introduce Jesus Rodriguez and Selina Perez from Cocina Mia, previously known as Bombones. Jesus and Selina, thank you so much for being in and joining us today. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join us.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here.
Of course. And so, when we were thinking of our goal with this podcast is to really highlight business owners, community leaders, movers and shakers, especially the Latino community in Waco, that are doing huge things in our community. And obviously you two are at the top of the list. And so we want to talk a little bit about your journey in opening your own business. I mean, you guys are local entrepreneurs. I know you also have a lot of things on your plate that you're doing right now. But before we get to all of that, and before our audience begins to listen, gets to know you a little bit better, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about your background, where you're from, and really what led you to the point of wanting to become an entrepreneur here.
Cool. Selena, you go first.
Yeah, sure, I guess. So I was actually born here in Hillsboro, Texas.
Very so Central
town.
Texas is home.
Yes, Texas is home. But my parents are from Las Bonillas, Mexico. The central part of that as well. So we grew up here. I moved to Waco approximately 5 years ago.
Okay.
And then from there, everything's been expanding. And here we are now, starting a business.
Awesome.
So I was born in Mexico, Tecopilco, Estado de México.
Entonces sí es primo de verdad.
Primo de mexicano, 100% mexicano, no. I grew up here in Texas, in small towns, Crawford, West Texas. And then I moved to Waco when I was around 18.
Okay.
So I've been in Waco since then.
Okay.
So I was able to see a lot of development.
Sure.
Kind of grow with Waco.
Sure. So what brought both of you to Waco specifically, if you don't mind sharing?
Work.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're from small towns, so there's not really much options as far as looking to expand. Plus, I was going to college as well, so that's what also made me move to Waco.
Awesome.
Yeah. We ended up meeting at the Waco Hippodrome, the historical Waco Hippodrome, and when it was still open, we were part of the management team.
Okay.
So that's how we met, and we created a friendship along with the other managers. But yeah, man, that's kind of our story. That's where we met, and then the business part of it started when kind of COVID shut down everything.
Sure.
And it gave us a lot of time to conversate while we were, doing small things around the restaurant and stuff like that. And we're like, hey, man, so at that point, it was just crazy ideas,
Right.
But now
that's how businesses start with crazy ideas, right?
Now we're actually living it.
Awesome. So for the audience that doesn't know, what's the relationship? Friendship?
Friendship.
Strictly friends.
Friendship,
yes.
Co-owners.
Awesome. Yeah. And so tell me, when you guys started talking about Bombones, what was the idea? What was the goal there?
Man, Bombones really, it was, I think, fresh air.
Okay.
I think we wanted to give Waco kind of like a fresh air of something different.
Qué bueno.
Bombones was that for us.
Right.
It was kind of fun, catchy. It was different. So I kind of think that's the whole reason behind Bombones. Just to kind of give something different.
Okay.
Different concept, different name.
Okay.
Not only that, I also think we got a lot of thinking as far as we've always worked for other people.
Right.
We've always been on a management team. So as far as we developed a lot of things for other people, it gave us a little push as in we've been in this area for a while. Why can't we do it ourselves?
Right.
So from there, that's honestly how Bombones started. We're talking, I've always been in the service industry. He's always been in the restaurant industry. And then, you add those two together, it's yin and yang. Here we are.
Absolutely. Well, Selena, something that you said that really is powerful. It's we've been doing this. We're working for other people. why not do it ourselves?
Yeah.
And I think so many times as Latinos or Hispanics, you know, we at times put ourselves as last. You know what I mean? Like we think, I'm going to keep my head down. We're going to go work for somebody else, make sure we're getting a steady paycheck, and then just do what I got to do to raise my family. But you guys stepped out on the ledge here and wanted to start your own business. Tell us, how was that process? Like, how did you feel? Like, was it scary? Was it chaotic? You know, was it fun? I'd love to hear your point of view.
I will definitely say it was nerve-wracking.
Okay.
I have a lot to thank to my father. He's been in the business world for quite a bit, but we also started from nothing.
Sure.
Like, I wasn't able to do a lot of things because we just didn't have the money available for it.
Completely understand.
Yeah. He grew, ended up, you know, getting the capital as far as that, and ended up helping me and Jesus. But as far as like actually starting it, like going through the permits and everything, I can definitely say, I mean, Jesus had a lot of studying to do.
Right.
I studied quite a bit as well. And between us two, I mean, it was just nerve-wracking. We just didn't know where to start, how to do it, but...
I think that's one part of it, you know.
Okay.
Like you just mentioned right now, as Hispanics, and when you live, I like to call it generational curse. You know?
Sir.
You kind of
I
come
completely
from a
understand
background
that. Yep.
where te quedas atorado por todo, no, for everything.
Claro.
So it's hard to get out of that and be the first one to break that generational curse and start your own business. And so that's kind of the part that's really nervous, you know. But it's also fulfilling for myself and for Selina, you know, to be first generation. Business, second generation for her, but for me, first one to do it, to open a business.
Right.
You know,
right.
so I think that's kind of it's a feeling you really can't describe unless you've been there.
Absolutely.
You know? So as a Hispanic.
Yep. Well, and I will say, voy a cambiar a español un ratito. Mi familia y yo visitamos a Bombones y nos fascinó la comida. Todo desde los aperitivos hasta la cena, hasta el postre. Nos encantó. Todo estaba riquísimo. Hasta fuimos con mi mamá, fuimos con mis hermanas, mis sobrinos, todos. Y no sé si se acuerdan, pero tenemos una mesa grande que estuvimos allí un rato. Pero la comida, estaba riquísima, que encontramos allí algo en Bombones que nunca hemos encontrado aquí en Waco. Eso, ¿cómo se sintió como ustedes, como dueños de negocios que podían ofrecer algo que no podías encontrar en cualquier otro lugar aquí en la ciudad? ¿Cómo se sintió eso?
Creo que eso es la meta, carnal. Creo que es la meta, poder darle eso a la gente. Porque como hispano o mexicano, no encuentras esa comida en cualquier lugar.
Claro.
No extrañas esa comida de tu país, extrañas la comida de tu mamá, de tu abuela, de tus tías.
De
¿no? Las
comida a casa, ¿verdad?
Sí, comida casera.
Comida casera, ¿no? Así es.
Entonces, cuando tú le puedes dar eso a alguien y hacer que una conexión con la mente y que recuerden unos recuerdos bonitos de su infancia o de niñez, creo que es lo que hacemos.
Es lo que hacemos.
Es lo más bonito de todo, ¿no? Que tú puedes darle ese regalo a alguien.
Claro.
Por la comida, las bebidas, lo que sea.
Y creo que también como mexicanos, nosotros enseñamos nuestro amor en la comida, ¿no? Invitamos a nuestros amigos, a nuestros familiares a que vengan a la casa a comer, y eso es como una forma de amar, de cariño, sí. Exactamente. Así que ustedes traducieron ese mismo amor a la comida, pero en un restaurante que no encuentras en otro lugar. Y también hemos ido a eventos que ustedes estaban dando la comida también, y nunca faltaba que la comida siempre estuvo un 10 de 10. Así que felicidades en eso, de verdad.
Muchas gracias. Es algo bonito, ¿no? Toma mucho esfuerzo, pero a la vez son cosas simples.
Y también usted de otro país.
Sí.
Que viene de otro país, comenzando un negocio aquí en los Estados Unidos, que es, vamos a ser honestos, comenzar un negocio aquí en los Estados Unidos es muy difícil.
Es canijo. Y mucho miedo.
Exactamente.
Muchos obstáculos y todo el rollo, ¿no? O sea, no es fácil. Y por eso mucha gente no se avienta, porque no saben cómo hacerlo. Como ya dijo, los permisos es un rollo. Yep. O sea, buscar permisos. Cuando no sabes hacer nada, pues
no sabes, exactamente.
No sabes, entonces...
Y no tienes nadie que te está enseñando, ni te está diciendo qué hacer, ni nada de eso.
Eso te da miedo, pero cuando lo logras, creo que el sentimiento que tienes después de que lograste todo eso solo, con ayuda, lo que sea, es como que... algo que no se puede explicar porque está muy adentro, ¿no?
Perfecto. So. Now, you recently went through a name change from Bolbones to Cultura Mía. Talk to us of why the name change, and is there anything different that you will see in the restaurant, and what can people expect as they go into Cultura Mía?
Well, I would definitely say, one, nerve-wracking.
Okay,
once again,
sure.
The changing the name as far as that, because it's a whole rebrand. Like
Absolutely.
We're very, very new, so a lot of people don't know us just yet. They know us as Bombones,
right.
not as Cultura Mía.
Mm-hmm.
But what initiated the name change is as far as a lot of people have been mistaking us for a sports bar.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So they associated Bombones with the sports bar.
The sports bar. So it's one of those things where either people were happy walking in and they're like, oh, well, we're like the Hooters kind of vibe, which is, completely fine. But that's not the image that we were trying to portray, is that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was that the main reason for the rebrand?
One of the rebrand, because, I mean, as far as that, we don't want to associate as far as see ourselves as
correct.
It's a whole different concept.
Absolutely.
We want our food to speak for itself.
Yes.
And also show obviously our culture.
Yes.
Through our food, appearances, and everything.
Yep.
So that was one of those things that we're 6 months in, so we're like, maybe it's time. Like, let's just go ahead and change our rebrand. And basically, with that, it was the perfect time to announce our bar that's opening.
So talk to us about the bar, which, if I can say, I'm a little excited about that.
Well, the bar, like everything she just said, it gets tied into our culture.
Sure.
If you know the Mexican culture, it's very respectful. And
right.
That kind of led up to why we did the name change as well. But the bar, man, we're excited. We're excited about the bar. Like everything we do is very simple. The bar's not extravagant, or anything like that. It's simple, but the drinks are amazing, man.
What can people expect when they go to?
So you can expect drinks that aren't seen around Waco.
Okay.
Obviously, we'll have some that everybody has.
Sure.
It's a competitive business, but for the most part, we have certain places that make us different. We have certain drinks that make us different. Yep. Our signature menu drink. So I will say this: our signature mixture drinks are made from scratch. It's hard to have a bar without simple syrup or anything like that.
Sure.
We'll bring that in, but for the most part, all our signature drinks are being made from scratch. Wow. Fruits in house.
Our purees.
That is amazing.
So I think pushing that is kind of one of our core values of who we are. Staying true to ourselves, being honest with our food.
Yep.
Being transparent. We're very transparent as a restaurant, man.
Yep.
We let everybody know our kitchen's open. Our restaurant is open kitchen.
Yes.
So you see us cooking, you see us what we're doing.
But that's part of the experience, right? That's part of the experience.
That's it. So it's just exciting, and we'll have some really cool drinks that not a lot of people have. So that's all I can say about that.
Okay, so we don't want to ruin the surprise. I completely understand. I completely understand.
But we do have some cool things.
Awesome. And so as you transition to Cultura Mía, has the menu changed, like the food menu changed?
Yes, we actually rolled out a new menu on the 21st. Yeah. The 21st. Okay. We rolled out a new
February.
menu. February, we rolled out a new menu. We brought in 2 amazing new desserts. So those I can talk about. We have the horchata tres leches.
Oh my goodness! Desserts are my weakness.
And then we have the torta de cielo, which is an almond butter cake.
Oh,
everything's made from scratch in house, with old school recipes, man. And then we have added some addition to the dinner menu.
Okay.
Carne guisada, bistec ranchero.
Perfecto.
Chile relleno con camarones, queso manchego.
Me está dando hambre ya más escuchándote, hombre.
Comida auténtica, ¿no? But yeah, man, it's just we did a vegetarian menu.
Uh-huh.
We have a lot of people that are vegetarians, and we want to make sure that we please everybody, man. We give everybody a little bit of who we are.
Sure.
And if we have to accommodate and adapt, we can do that, because the Mexican culture, let's be honest, man, it's not much vegetarian.
Right.
We need a lot of meat.
We need some protein in there.
So, but we're very excited, man, to roll it out, and I hope people, that are vegetarians, we have that available.
And how has the Waco community responded, even from the beginning of you opening your business? How has the Waco community responded to you?
It's responded well, man. Better than I could ever thought. I thought me as an entrepreneur and her, like, we were scared because we didn't have contacts, But once you start reaching out, it's like a domino effect.
Right.
You reach out to one person that's willing to help you, and they'll contact you with another one, and it's a train effect,
Right.
Next thing you know, you have an agenda full of contacts that are willing to help you. So it's out there,
you know,
and the community as well. I think that they've supported the flavor change, the flavor profile of the food, the concept. You know, because a lot of people, let's be honest, as a Mexican coach, sometimes I don't know, me not personally, but como que te da un poquito de vergüenza, ¿no? Mostrar toda la cultura.
Yes.
¿no?
Yes.
No, dude, no. Like, I want to expose
it. I
want to show it.
This is who we are.
This is who we are, man.
Yes,
and
I'm proud of it.
Yeah, I think for the longest time, the Hispanic or Mexican community have always been like shy or timid. In the shadows.
Well, so you bring up a good point. I think it goes back to, you know, something that was said earlier that we are taught, especially in this country, to just keep our head down, not to cause attention to ourselves or just do enough to do what we have to, but not really go the extra step. And so for you, both of you, to say, this is who we are and we are proud of it and we're going to not flaunt it, but just be proud of who we are.
Proud, man. Yes. Just showcase it. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, we're in a great country where we're sharing cultures.
Right.
You know, there's nothing wrong with showcasing it.
There you go.
Through posadas, through food, through events, through anything, you know, showcasing our culture.
Because so speaking of posada, this past holiday season, you guys held a posada at the restaurant. How'd it go?
It went good.
Oh, it went very good.
Wonderful.
I was very, very happy about it. It was actually cold that night, and we were not expecting it to be as cold, which I'm honestly happy it happened that day because the next day was even more colder.
Oh, my goodness.
But people still came. If we're being honest, a lot of people came for the rosary, which in a sense, I honestly did not expect many people to actually show up for the rosary, but for the actual posada event.
Right.
But it was very beautiful. It kind of brought tears to our eyes as far as like people actually coming to the rosary to, you know, go through it, the whole thing with us, and it was very beautiful.
I love that. I love that. I think you guys have seen, Waco has embraced you. Even before the rebrand, like in our circle of friends, have you been to Bombones? You need to try Bombones. We love Bombones. I mean, it's delicious, and so I have seen this synergy around what you have created as your brand, as your business, as your a staple in the community. That even for someone as young as you are, have really made a huge impact. And so I want to congratulate both of you on doing that, because that doesn't come easily, especially with I will say, like, Waco is not, it's growing, but it's still not a big city. And so word of mouth is big. And so I mean, for people to go over and over back to your business, like for repeat business over and over and over, I mean, it speaks volumes of the quality of food and service that they get when they come to your business.
I think we're excited for the future, man. I think in the short 6 months that we've been open, Waco's responded very well. You know, like you just said, our name's up there with you know, the big ones, man. And we're just a small restaurant right now. So we take a lot of pride in the food, and the environment, and who we are as people. So we're just excited for the future.
But you've had a restaurant for 6 months, a building, but you've been in the game for longer than that, right?
Yes.
So tell us about that a little bit.
So I've been in the restaurant industry for about 18 years. You know, I started very young. I got my first manager job at 18. For Rosa's Cafe. Wow. You know, so I was a travel manager here and there. I opened restaurants. I fell in love with the restaurant industry, man. The service industry, you know, serving people. That's pretty much my background, and it's been a long time.
I think we were talking about how long it took us to actually open this restaurant, right?
Like, because you guys had, but you guys had a food truck, right? Like you had I thought you did.
Okay, from brick and mortar. That was it.
So that's my mistake. I don't know why I thought like you would go to events and cater and sell your food.
So it's funny that you say that. Before we were actually opening, it took us around 1.5 to 2 years to start the opening. We announced it 1.5 years before we even opened. We announced that this was going on, but it's all honestly because we really thought we were about to open, and the permits and everything just got in the way, and it was just one of those things where it got embarrassing because we were like, oh yeah, in December. Nope, February came. Oh yeah, June. Nope, you know, stuff like that always came up.
Right.
But yes, we were invited to the HEB Celebrity Cook-Off.
Right.
Which is, we weren't even open yet. So
I think that's where I first encountered you at the Celebrity Cook-Off. Yes.
That was one of the first events that we did, and We only entered for the appetizer part, which we won best appetizer.
Congratulations!
Without even opening, so I think we took a lot of pride in that because we're unopened yet.
Right.
We're a restaurant, trying to get there, and we entered one thing, and we kind of won in that category. So it was great.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. And then obviously, I think at the time that you guys decided to open, like, it was towards the latter part of the pandemic as well. So I know that played a part in it.
It didn't affect, I wouldn't say it affected as much as a lot of other businesses. But I would say that if anything, it prolonged just the permit part of it.
Sure.
Everything was backed up, and then we got the bad end of it. They were backed up with permits. It took a long time. So in a sense, it did end up affecting us. But we're so glad that we opened when civilization started coming back. Because I was worried about,
or at least semi, right?
How we're gonna hire people? Nobody wants to work.
Right.
Everybody's kind of fearful of that. So we kind of got open in the beginning of it when it kind of became normal again. So.
Well, before we end today, and it's been great talking to you guys, by the way, but I want you to tell the audience where they can find you, what they expect when they get there, and just any information like websites, stuff like that people can look for you and find you at.
Yeah, so Cultura Mia, I just want to touch base on it one last time. You'll receive, when you go there, you'll receive a cultural connection. If you want to come connect with your Mexican roots, with the food that you grew up eating in a different environment, try it out. If you haven't tried authentic Mexican, then you come to the right place. Selena, where are we located at?
We're located on 123 North 12th Street. It's the corner of Washington and 12th Street, and it is a white building, so there's definitely different suites on it. We have a front, which is on 12th, and then you can always park in the back, which the entrance can be on either Austin Avenue or Washington, either or. You can go in through either entrance. As far as our website, it's culturamiawaco.com. And you can also find us on Facebook and on Instagram as well. I do want to say one thing to expect when coming into our restaurant is we wanted to click as close to our Hispanic culture. So as far as soda fountain drinks, we don't really have like a Coke and soda like fountain machines.
Which I love.
We have fresh agua frescas.
Yes.
We make them fresh every day. We have a different variety, but we also do have our bottled drinks as far as your Mexican Coke, different flavor jarritos, and all that other stuff. I will say, make sure you have a little bit of time because it is time consuming. Everything is homemade. So tortillas, everything is all homemade. Yep. So just expect, that in general.
Expect an experience.
Expect a great experience.
Not just a meal, but it's an experience that you're getting when you come to Cultura Mia.
Yes.
That's it. That's the
open-minded.
Yeah. Yep. Just an experience, man.
Well, thank you guys for being in attendance. And thank you for joining us today for really talking about Cultura Mia. We are so excited about the future of Cultura Mia, what's to come, and just the different variety that you're bringing to our community that we were lacking. And also just thank you for, as Latinos, as Hispanos, como Mexicanos, that you are really paving the way for those that are coming up behind you, that a little girl, little boy could be looking at you and say, man, if they can do it, so can I. And if they're from another country or they're from a small town or wherever they're from, that they can see themselves in you and see you successful, and they know that they can believe in themselves as well.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
Absolutely, sir. And thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure chatting with my guests. Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsor, the Office of External Affairs from Baylor University. Of course, to our audience who has been so just supportive and following us. We hope that you continue to follow us. And when you get a chance, please visit Cultura Mia. Thank you. Take care. Y cuídense.
This episode of Orgullo Hispano was made possible through the generosity of these sponsors. The Hispanic Leaders Network is a nonprofit 501c3 organization. Our vision is to develop and empower current and future leaders to make a difference in the community. To sponsor a future Orgullo Hispano podcast episode, email hlnwaco@hln-waco.org or visit the HLN website at www.hlnwaco.org.